who is Conor McGregor gonna fight if he comes back? Because we don't know if he is. He doesn't look like he is. His head does not seem to be in the game at all. Every time you see him is at some party or some sort of event. He's never locked in. Like every time you see like the top MMA fighters, they're always at the gym or on podcasts talking about fighting, or like just something to do with fighting, interviews, talking about fighting, talking about who they're fighting next. Conor's always at like a party or some non-MMA event or something like that, and it's so annoying, man, because I really want to see him back in there. Really want to see him back in there against like one of these top guys. He doesn't really deserve one of the top guys, but like still, like I want to see him in there against some of these top guys. And I thought we'd go through some of them, some of his potential opponents. Assuming he comes back, let's go through some potential opponents, talk about the matchup, see if he wins or if he loses, and so let's decide what's the best matchup for him to come back against. Fucking hell. My nose gets stuffed. Anyway. Alright, so we're going to go from like the bottom to the top in terms of like rankings wise that you could give him. So option number 1 is Paddy Pimblett against Conor McGregor. I think that's maybe give Paddy his big fight next. Like if you give him like a Beneil Dariush next, and he KOs Beneil Dariush, and then he's ranked number 6 or 7. Then you do the Conor McGregor fight. Boom. Like, huge fight. Massive. I just don't think Paddy's had his big fight yet. I know the green one was good, but like that fight to really put him up there, I don't think he's just quite had it yet. I think so if Paddy gets one more big, like, highlight reel knockout against like Beneil Dariush, or yeah, I don't know. I don't really see him winning against a lot of these guys. Like, I don't see him beating Gamrot. I don't see him beating Fiziev. I don't think he beats Moicano. I could see him beating Benoit, but Benoit's not very highly ranked anyway. So I think Beneil Dariush is the perfect matchup for Paddy Pimblett. I really do. And I think he'd KO Beneil Dariush. Get that highlight reel KO. Then do the fight with Conor. Because then there's stakes on the line. Like, if Conor wins, boom, he's back into the top 6 or 7. And if Paddy wins, boom, like, you're looking at the new Conor McGregor with Paddy Pimblett. I do think Paddy would beat Conor at this point. I think he'd grapple him. If he decides to grapple him, that's the thing. I could definitely see Paddy going in there, trying to strike with him and maybe get clipped. Definitely get clipped, actually, by Conor. But it's so hard to say with Conor because he's been out for so long. We haven't seen him win a fight in years. So, I would go with Paddy against Conor McGregor. Probably by like an early submission, first or second round. Assuming it's 5 rounds. Like first or second round submission, I think. That's option 1. I think that's a great option for Conor to come back to. But I think Paddy needs to get right back in there against Beneil Dariush quickly. Very quickly. Option number 2. This is maybe before this fight was booked. But Max Holloway. If Max Holloway loses to to Poirier. If Holloway loses to Topuria, comes back up to lightweight, I think that's a sick fight. Holloway versus Conor McGregor. Why not? Holloway's highly ranked in the lightweight division. He's number 8. He really should be higher. But if Holloway wins against Topuria, obviously he's going to stay at featherweight and defend the belt. But if he goes up and loses to Topuria, why not do the Conor McGregor fight? That rematch. Why not? I think that's huge. I think that would be a massive, massive fight. Because they could play the highlight reel Gaethje knockout for the thingamajig. The fucking highlight reel for Max. Like during the promotion for it. And obviously there's history because they fought before. And then they could promote like, oh, Max was young. This is a new Max. Like, you know. I think that's a great option. I'd definitely go Holloway though. I'd definitely go Holloway over McGregor at this point. Oh, fucking hell, sorry. I'd definitely go Holloway over McGregor. I think McGregor's just too... I think at this point, he's going to come back. He's going to be too slow. He's not going to chin Max. Nobody chins Max. Even though I think Ilya does chin Max. I don't think he chins him. Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy win for Holloway. Peppers him up. Probably gets a finish. Especially at lightweight as well, where he seems to have way more power in his shots. I'd go Holloway by finish, like 3rd, 4th round, something like that. TKO for Holloway. Still a huge fight, though. Massive, massive fight. The next option is the fight that was booked against Michael Chandler. This is still... I think this is the perfect fight to Conor, because he can win. He could definitely beat Chandler. On paper, he can beat Chandler. It's just the activity and the mindset. He just doesn't seem to be in the game. And he doesn't seem motivated enough to get in there and fight someone like Chandler. So I do think Chandler would beat him. But still, like, I think that's the perfect fight because he can beat Chandler. Everybody knows. That's why the fight's it's a really good fight. Because he can beat him. He can beat Chandler. He can chin him. Chandler's so open. He's very wild. He gasses quick. He can beat Chandler. If Chandler, doesn't decide to wrestle. But even if he does decide to wrestle, like, it's not like he's some finisher on the ground. Conor can get up. Chandler will gas. Conor can pour it on him. Get the finish in the 2nd or 3rd round. There's ways Conor can win against Chandler. So I think, like, if he wants to win a fight, if he wants, like, a dangerous test but still winnable, then it's Chandler. It's definitely Chandler. But it's just, I don't think it's the biggest fight he can come back to. I think Holloway's bigger. And I think if Pimblett gets a big win, that'll be bigger as well. But yeah, I think Chandler, in terms of, like, on paper, stylistically, probably the best one for him to come back against. Oh my god. Right, moving on. This is the one he called out, I think. He said he was going to fight him in February, Dan Hooker. This is a great fight too. That would be a sick fight, to be honest with you. Like a scrap. Proper scrap, like both strikers. You know Dan Hooker ain't shooting takedowns. Well, actually, he might do. He did against Puelles, didn't he? Shot takedowns. Or was it Puelles? No, it was Nasrat. Nasrat he shot a lot of takedowns against. So, that's a sick fight, yeah. I think it's just like, Dan Hooker's just not a big star, man. That's the thing. He's just not a big star. Like, I know people like him among the hardcore fan base, but among, like, the casual fan base, man, not really. Is anybody really excited to see a Dan Hooker fight? You know? Like, was anybody really excited for Dan Hooker versus Gamrot? Like, I don't think... It was kind of a cool fight on the card that people were like, oh, that's a cool fight. But I just don't think... Hooker needs an opponent. I don't think Hooker can get an exciting fight just off him. He needs an exciting opponent. I don't think they should do this fight. I don't think they should do Hooker versus Conor. Because I think they should do Hooker versus Gaethje. I think that's such a good fight. Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker is a war. Like, it's going to be fireworks, guaranteed. That's absolutely what they should do. Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. If we don't get that fight, man, that's such a fumbled fight. Absolutely, they should do that. Number 5, Hooker versus number 3, Gaethje. Definitely do that. So I wouldn't do that for Conor. I won't make him come back against Hooker because he'd lose, probably. And, if he loses, it's like, Dan Hooker's not destined for the top, is he? Like, I don't think that's a very good fight for thingy. Next option, Dustin Poirier. Now, I don't think this is a good option because I think Conor would definitely lose. And he'd lose to him 3 times, which is such a massive stain on his legacy. I think if Conor like really wants that 4th fight against Poirier, he should come back, get a win, then fight Poirier. He shouldn't come back to Poirier. I just don't think that's a very smart idea at all. Because I think they should do Poirier versus Volkanovski. Or Poirier Volkanovski, or like maybe Poirier Fiziev, but like, can you give Fiziev? I don't know. I think that's actually a good fight, to be honest. Poirier versus Fiziev. But yeah, I don't think they should do Dustin versus Conor. I think Dustin would smoke him in 2 rounds pretty easily. Next one. This is a good one. Especially because of his last fight, Justin Gaethje versus Conor. That's a good fight. Gaethje coming off the KO loss, so it's a more winnable fight for Conor now. Would he win? Would he beat Gaethje? It's kind of hard to say. Gaethje's number 3. He might, you know. I might pick Conor to win against Gaethje at this point. Gaethje's kind of old. Gaethje's 35, so is Conor, 35, 36. Conor ain't taking the damage Gaethje has. He ain't coming off a KO loss, like bad, really, really bad KO loss. At 35 years old. Like, you take shots like that, like, I don't think you're coming back from that, man. I might go Conor over Gaethje, so maybe that's the best fight of that. That's a huge fight as well. A huge, massive fight. So maybe, yeah. So Gaethje and Chandler are the 2 front runners right now. And then this next one would be sick. Charles Oliveira versus Conor McGregor. If Charles beats Chandler, because they're going to fight, maybe this is the best fight for Conor. Is the winner of Charles versus Chandler for, like, and then whoever beats Conor. Like, say if they do Chandler versus Conor after he beats Oliveira, or Oliveira versus Conor after he beats Chandler. The winner, whoever beats Conor, gets the title shot, maybe. I think that would be sick. I think Charles versus Conor would be absolutely amazing. I think Charles just finish him pretty early. First round. I think I'd go first round finish for Charles. But still, Conor's got that left hand. Well, does he have that left hand anymore? We don't really know. We don't really know if he has that left hand anymore. Fucking keep yawning. Sorry, fucking hell, no, that's so fucking annoying. It's like 11 o'clock. Anyway, yeah, Charles would be a sick fight for Conor. But the number 1 front runner, it was Chandler, but now I actually think it's Justin Gaethje. I think Gaethje's the best fight for Conor to come back against. Because I think he can beat him. I think he can chin him. I think he can find that chin. Gaethje's old. He's the same age as Conor, so it's not like they're different eras or anything. And it'd be a huge fight because Gaethje's known. He's fought Khabib. Like, he's been in big fights before. He's coming off the Holloway fight, which was huge. Yeah, that's the fight. That's the fight they should do is Justin Gaethje. I was going to say Chandler was the best, but nah, switched my mind. It's Justin Gaethje. Huge fight, winnable for Conor. I think I might pick him to win if that fight gets made. Which, before I made this video, I probably would not have. I'm just thinking now, like, I can see him landing that left and putting Gaethje out, man. Poirier was rocking him with left hands in the second fight. Poirier was rocking him with, knocked him out with the left hand in the first fight. I understand, like, they're different, but, like, both southpaws. And Conor does land his left. Like, Conor does land when he fights. He lands. So, yeah, I'd go Conor over Gaethje. That's the fight they should do. And then if Conor wins, boom, he's beat number 3 Justin Gaethje's right back into the top 5. Getting a title shot or, like, fighting in a number 1 contender fight. That's absolutely the fight they should do. Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor. Fucking hell, I'm so tired. Ugh, fucking hell. Anyway, Gaethje, Conor McGregor, that's what they should do. I'm excited to see if he comes back. I really want him to come back because it's always exciting when he does. Yeah, hopefully. Please come back, Mr. Conor. Please. But yeah, fucking hell, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm so tired. Peace.